The concept of this show is so special, it will obviously stand out above anything in your market.
I knew you'd say that.
And you'll have advertisers standing in line to buy in.
Money. You're gonna make money.
The Surgeon General has determined cigarette smoking is dangerous to your
Miss America for 1963 is Jacqueline May of Sandusky, Ohio. Jackie is 5'5", measures 36, 22, 36, and has hazel eyes.
Not yet being into escrow then. What we're talking about in effect is that number one, the buyer would have to face increased interest rates. Number two, he would have more difficulty qualifying for the loan because the total monthly payments would be higher, and consequently his total income must be higher in order to receive that loan. Don't we also find, however, frequently that when the Federal Reserve increases the discount rate, they also increase the reserve requirements of the banks? And when this happens, that tends to shrink the money supply available to mortgages, so that consequently not only will the other two effects be felt by the purchaser, but in addition to that, don't we also find that he must come up with a larger down payment, because the lender frequently in this situation will parcel out the limited resources which he has, and consequently he'll tend to select a borrower with a larger down payment and thus make a...
Let's all welcome Miss America for 1964, lovely Donna Axon from El Dorado, Arkansas.
America is improving all the time. Look, there, color TV.
I accept your nomination.
Billy, little boy, going to the hills, see something new. Billy, little boy, going to the hills, he's got a new canoe. When he was 12 years old, he had his pack all packed. When he was 13, he didn't want to come back. Billy was a little boy who lived up down the hill. One day you would find him acting see swell going down. Can I see why Billy liked it this way? Billy's 25, but he lives by himself in a apartment, but it's not, it's just a shack on the hillside. Little boy didn't come back to civilization. Something had begun to wrong.
You wrote the lyrics to Wang Dang, Sweet Poontang.
Hey, what are you insinuating?
Billy, little boy, found something he needed and went after it. Is this such a crime? Why do they call him a twit? Billy, little boy, knew what he wanted in.
It's an hour with Raymond.
Couple of minutes.
Just testing. A couple of minutes with Raymond.
That's better.
In the little town of Bethlehem, the night was very still. The stars shone brightly. Inside a small white house, little boy Jesus, his mother, and Joseph were sound asleep. While they slept, an angel of the Lord appeared to Joseph in a dream. Take Jesus and his mother and flee to Egypt. Stay there until I tell you to leave. King Herod will send his soldiers to search for the child to kill him. Joseph jumped up. Quickly, he woke up Mary. He said, "An angel told me to take Jesus to the land of Egypt. King Herod plans to kill the child. In Egypt, he will be safe." In the middle of the night, Mary got ready for the long trip. She packed their clothes, some food, and water. Carefully, she wrapped little boy Jesus in soft, warm clothing.
Buzz when the pointers their tongue, they say it's hot. So it's very accurate for them. I have to do something for everybody to say, be able to convey my taste sensation in a meaningful language. So I think the message, I can put myself forward and answer this ballad.
Delivered fresh from Livingston, where chicken is a way of life.
All the downtown stores are jammed with people, and everybody's filled with that old Christmas spirit. Today we're asking shoppers what they bought their families for Christmas. That's a suspicious-looking package you've got there, ma'am.
You mean this? It's just a rifle.
A rifle?
Yeah, for my hubby. He's a deer hunter. Gee, I hope I got the right one or he'll kill me.
Requesting of the Congress new funds for the following immediate objectives. To identify and mark space in existing structures that could be used for fallout shelters in case of attack. To stock those shelters with food, water, first aid kits, and other minimum essentials for our survival. In the event of an attack, the lives of those families which are not hit in a nuclear blast and fire can still be saved, 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 saved.
You're troubled with irregularity. Stuffy, bulky, uncomfortable feeling.
5'6", 116 pounds, with brown hair and green eyes, for 1967 is 19-year-old Jane Ann J. Rowe.
Shall not seek, and I will not accept the nomination of my party for another term as your president.
There in the sky, a little dot of light, in which there is a note, a Russian cosmonaut.
They had been through months of open hearings, debate, and discussion beforehand. So I think partly what made them take this less seriously than in retrospect they should have was it looked like it was just a last-minute attempt to knock him down. Right. They didn't do their homework at that stage.
Senator Deaconson, Dennis Deaconson says, now, I'm ashamed to be part of this process, talking about the hearings on radio and television. Had the committee attempted to hold a closed session about this, what would have happened? This is talking about after the leak now.
I would guess that we would have had a huge firestorm of enormous proportions if this had been done in secret. No matter what they did at that stage,
it wouldn't have benefited anybody in this process. Imagine if you have a closed hearing and the committee votes itself in.
Me break a bottle over my head. Boy, that'd be great. How about it, buckaroos? Yeah! Well, that was great. Thanks. You want to see me light my face on fire? Sure.
Parakeet 16 years ago. His name was Bloody Joe, and I'll tell you why. He had these big claws and these grueling green eyes. He would stare at you like a carnivore. He had that look of the need for flesh. He had that look for the need for hamburger. One day I was in my bathroom and Joe called out my name. One day I was in my bathroom, Joe called out my name. He said, I'm gonna get you. He said, I'm gonna get you. So you better look out, my friend. He took his claw and whipped it at my eye. I saw the blood drip and I saw the eyeball fly. I felt hurt. I felt hurt because my parakeet does not like me. Joe went down the street on a killing spree. He went down the street on a killing spree. He got the Johnson's baby in one big pack. He got the Flintstones baby in one big pack. He got the Smiths baby in one big pack. There was blood everywhere. What the fuck? I thought you ate sweets. I didn't know you ate meat. I thought you always ate seeds. Just please don't eat me. I thought you always ate seeds instead of meat. I thought you ate seeds, but please just don't eat me.
Ye must be born again. Ye must be born again. I verily, verily say unto thee, ye must be born again.
Have you ever dated Sarah or her older brother Ben, who live in our hometown? You'll never be the same again after you come back. Have you ever heard just how it was? A guy called Larry Mack, the first time he took Sarah out to see a show at night. A wave of expectation kept beating on their hearts and made them tight inside. Mack was out to make it last and keep the thrill alive. But Sarah coughed and smiled a crooked smile and tried to talk of Josh, her younger brother, to talk of Josh and tell the story about her father's broken home and just how Josh had started to mend it all again. Josh likes to sing, to laugh at jokes, to eat green cheese or bowls of rice. Josh likes to laugh, but he won't neck.
You have now
Soon Josh
reached
became
a
a
very
rival in
pleasant
Mac's
state
tormented
of
mind.
deep
So he shot
relaxation.
around next morning and banged on
I'm
Sarah's
now going
door,
to tell you
and
how to
banged and
achieve
banged some
even
more,
deeper
till his
relaxation,
fist was sore.
so that the suggestions
Sarah
and
said,
knowledge you are about
"Well,
to
hi."
receive
The
can reach
father
the
said,
deepest levels
"Hello."
of your inner
The
mind.
two brothers said the same.
Feel
Sarah
the
kept
complete
repeating the
relaxation
joy of
in your
loving
entire
Josh,
body.
how he always seemed to
Concentrate your relaxation on your eye muscles.
In the census, for example, they prefer to be listed as women. There's no census listing for alternative gender. So it's not really clear from a census or a record how many hijras there would be. The impression I get is that they are not decreasing, although the Indian government has laws against being a hijra, that is against emasculation. They nevertheless still carry out this practice. They do it in secret, but they certainly do.
Ever sing for joy?
I think we should sing for joy. I really do. I think sometimes we complain for the lack of joy, don't we? I know I do. Whenever we talk about the holiness of God, I usually think of how Christians become holy. How do you become holy? Do you make yourself holy? Do you just, clench your fists and then you say, I'm going to be holy. If it kills me, I'm going to be holy. You can't do it. It might kill you, but you see, somebody died so that we can be holy. And that somebody is Jesus. And that's why you can be one of God's people today.
You can be one of God's people by believing on Jesus. And so, we're supposed to have a holy conversation. What would a holy conversation be? Have you had a holy conversation lately? You say, well, sure I have, because I've prayed. That's good. That's good. But I'm thinking about talking to people. You ever talk to somebody other than God? And you would say, man, that was a holy conversation.
About street crossing and its dangers. I think the best way to illustrate safe street crossing is to show the boys and girls little films some of the fellows on the force and I put together. Here you see a little boy by the name of Billy Adams who didn't wait for my help. Now if you watch closely, you're going to see him getting some trouble here. Billy starts across the street without looking. Now he sees a car coming. He panics and stops right in the middle of the crossing.
who are loved by God. The first spiritual truth that you must appropriate is that you are the object of God's love.
Crispy coated French fry with the flavor your family just
you
loves.
are a sinner. The Bible says, but God commended his love toward us.
Your kids will say, Viva la Mom.
When it says all-righter, it's all-righter.
One of these days I'm gonna do it right. I'll find out how it happens and I'll go down. And I'll go down. This is a story of one Vera Bell. She spent a lonely night in hell when she woke the next morning to see her velveteen rabbit thrown across the room. Everything going and it's not too great. One of these days she's just gonna break. I don't know what it may be, but I can see Vera now, 16 years old now, and she's in a bar. She's driving her brand new car, Vera Bell in New Jersey, mansion hell. Her father's a golfer and a broker from Bell. One of these days Vera Bell's gonna quit. She's just gonna have to snap her wig. One of these days she will quit. Vera's 36 now, living in Aspen, Colorado, off her trust fund, but I don't see why that has to do with the story, 'cause it's about her younger life.
A discussion of why there are land use patterns at all. And of course, anyone who's looked at towns or at the area around wherever they live will agree that the various types of land use do tend to cluster themselves into patterns of some sort.
was asleep, and he was having a dream.
He was on a stage,
and he was wearing a costume. Toad looked out into the dark. Frog was sitting in the theater. A strange voice from far away said, "Presenting the greatest toad in all the world."
Well, I hope you got your radios turned up real loud and Mom and Dad have left the room, because your old pal Buffalo Dick has got some more Mom and Dad stuff to talk to you about again today.
Everything. I do a little trapping too. And what I did is I trapped myself an Alice Chalmers road grader.
You what?
I trapped myself an Alice Chalmers road grader so as I could drag my game out there, and that way I'd cover up the tracks so that other big game hunters wouldn't come and shoot my game. And mind you, when you're driving something as lucrative as a Alice Chalmers road grader, you don't see one every day. People just take shots at you left and right, so you gotta protect yourself.
After Marco Polo's voyages or expeditions to exploration. But that is not enough to reach the destination. And they must have known what they were. Furthermore, they went farther than they were not with These expeditions were tours. How did they know where they were going? They must have known. They must have had maps. And we, with all of our exploration.
There's the more inclusive
Gumperson's Law. Gumperson's Law states that the probability of any given event is inversely proportional to its desirability. Or in other words, the less you want something, the more likely it is, and the more you want something, the less likely it is. Now, I know there are believers. It's easy to feel this way whenever your pencil lead breaks, or you have to be the one who fills the salt shaker, or unwraps the butter, or finds that paper roll holder empty. But the truth is that we're simply suffering from selective perception, that ability to see what we choose to see. Let me explain by referring to one of my specialties. I specialize in speeding tickets. In all my years of driving, I've never had anything but speeding tickets, not even a parking ticket. Every time that officer pulls up behind me with that flashing light, I say, shoot. You've thought the same thing. Where is that officer when I'm in need? But just let that needle creep past 55 and gotcha. That's selective perception.
and 4B. Pick up the bobbin case 4A with your left hand and insert the loaded bobbin 4B into it.
The new birth precedes spiritual growth, but that growth is not automatic. Many Christians remain spiritual babies for years. But if we walk with God, studying His Word, the Bible, and praying, we will grow spiritually. The closer the walk, the faster the growth.
Or large labels, one of the two, and 100% cotton. Go by bank and drop off all this garbage, and also go and get Janet's magazines. Call Jim Quilty regarding the buttons. Copy tape for David Ross. Get battery for watch.
Please. Bring us together. America. Love it or leave it.
Suppose they gave a war and nobody came. We shall overcome.
Turn on. Tune in. Drop out.
Support our boys in Vietnam.
War is not healthy for children and other living things.
Normally would never listen to punk stuff, all of a sudden find themselves buying punk records because they had to hear this stuff in order to get to the stuff that they like. So it was an interesting situation.
Don't you, Buffalo Dick? You called and said, send me your best.
Hey, Buffalo Chip, looky here.
What? Ow!
Well, I guess that's my cue to beat it. You know me, sick of bed with both feet hanging out. See you around, Buffalo Dick.